This is No Name Josh from the Next Gen Nerds. Today I'm sitting down with Mark and Anthony from the Reps. They have a new game coming out called The Manipulators. It's about aliens taking over a small suburban town. So let's get into it. So I guess the first question: how did you guys come up with this concept?
Well, I was really interested in horror films, and I was thinking about the idea of it is basically an alien race invades Earth, and they slowly take over the humans. Like they control them through kind of spawns that infect the brain. And I was into that kind of films for like a fair bit longer time, and I've seen quite a few of them. So I was looking for a game to complement it, just kind of like try it out. And I thought, well, since there is no game out there, because I couldn't find any, I
Yeah.
just I just thought, yeah, let's do this.
Yeah, I mean, I can't I wouldn't even be fair to take much of the credit because Mark approached me with the concept. He was like, "Look, I got this idea for this game," so we like sat down. Typical meeting discussing scene. Sat down, got a coffee, and he was like, "Look, here's a game design document." Read it through, and then we started bouncing ideas off. And
Yeah, yeah,
I mean, it's still a constant progress. Like
yeah,
he came in with this concept, and every day it's like, "Wait a minute, let's do this, and let's do that."
yeah, yeah, yeah. So Anthony's the 3D lead and game designer,
Okay.
and I'm project lead and concept artist, and also do a bit of programming. But yeah, it's kind of good to bounce things off each other.
Yeah.
And obviously, we have some more people on the team for various other roles.
Yeah.
So on the website, you guys describe it as an RTS. How does that work?
Basically, imagine like a top-down view where where the humans you control, you can pretty much move them around.
Okay.
So you start off with your alien, with your first alien, then you can move it around, then you can infect more people and you move them around. So you'll see the layout of the town from a top-down view, and you're going to control how things are going, and it's really important for for the game to also look good.
Yeah.
So it's going to be 3D, and you just want to make it look nice, I guess.
Yeah. And
Okay.
just you sort of a lot of it will be sort of they'll be automated, but you can put them into functions. You can get a unit you've infected to do something.
Yeah, exactly.
But if they're not, they'll be just doing about their daily business, and
Exactly.
it's sort of based on sort of tactical. It's a bit more sort of
Yeah,
tactical and
yeah.
stealth based.
Because what you want to do is your units should the main method in the town is to remain stealthy, because you're gonna lose if the town people gonna know about the invasion.
Okay.
So it's really important for you to kind of have that ability to automate your units so they go about their daily lives without making any mistakes or look suspicious. So in a way, you kind of like, there's a few things you can set them to do, but most of the time you'd be focused on kind of planning your next move.
Oh, interesting. So, I guess what's the end goal? Like to take over multiple towns, or
See, that's quite an interesting question because what we want from this game is not to be like a specific like end goal, but
okay,
that so the player can kind of play the game how they want to play, sort of different options. So you discuss it with your friends a bit. You know, so that one player might do it completely differently to another player. That's the beauty of the genre of the strategy game, is that you can do it multiple different ways. It makes the game replayable. And if you do it right, you could technically, you could go back to it an infinite number of times and just keep doing something a little bit different, improving things, improving your own technique.
Yeah, and I mean the scale we'd first like to test out and like make sure works is a town,
Small town, yeah.
small town in the US. The game is set in 1998 suburban US town.
Yeah. And
Bit specific, but we think that alien invasion, if it were to happen today, is impossible with Instagram around.
Yeah, it's just not. Yeah, and for the player and for the basis of the actual sort of the first sort of beta and stuff like that, we want to start with something a bit small, a bit more manageable, and then work up from there. It makes it probably easier for the player to start getting used to, and also us to create and make sure it runs well. And also, with a smaller town, it will run as a completely different game to if you had a bigger town.
Exactly.
I mean, by the way you manage how you affect people, the way you manage your units per se, quotation marks, and that's completely different if you're trying to take over a small town compared to like a city.
Yeah.
Because there's no way you're going to be taking over a city one person by one person. Like
Yeah.
mechanically, that's ridiculous, and as a game, that's possibly not enjoyable unless you, I don't know.
Might be a completely different game, really.
Yeah, yeah.
We want to hit that balance, right, of good scale versus just too much micromanagement.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's a big problem.
Yeah, that's a big problem.
And also, as both of us come from an artist background, like we're big on making this game look good. And if you've got like a big scale city, it would waste a lot of the time making these nice 3D characters. But the plain and simply, like the mechanics would be completely different. Completely different.
Yeah. Like we want to have enough freedom for a player to kind of interact with the environment and not be too focused out.
Yeah, I agree. Like the micromanagement would be a pain. I think a lot of people avoid like The Sims because of all the micromanagement, or at least I do.
Yeah, whenever I played The Sims, it would just be like, it had so many problems, like 99 problems, and I just couldn't solve all of them. It was like, you'd fed him, you'd washed him, he'd been to the toilet, he then washed his hands after the toilet, so he was super clean. He did all this, he went to work, and then he was tired, and then you're like, all right, go to sleep. And then he went to sleep, woke up in the morning, and now he's suddenly hungry, needs a shit, needs a shower.
Yeah,
It was like the most
that?
useless.
Yeah, what fun in that?
No, there was no fun. He was so routine, and he was never happy with his life. I was happy creating his life. I couldn't get him happy.
Yeah.
I felt like the worst, like an awful parent. Like I'd let this creation down. I created this character, ruined him. I couldn't make him happy. So
It was your responsibility.
Yeah.
but that's a good example. Is for example, The Sims compared to Sim City. Like it's completely different games.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Completely. There's similar concepts there, but they're completely different games, and it's all about scale.
Yeah, it's both of them are kind of simulation based in a way.
Yeah, I mean, even in the Sims, you're creating a house, you're creating a life, and you're micromanaging a few Sims.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But their interactions.
And they are a handful.
Yeah, they are a handful. But then Sim City, you're running a whole town and you're micromanaging that. You have nothing to do with the people. In fact, I don't think you even see the people.
You can have I think in SimCity 4 they introduced this feature where you can have one of the Sims from Sims live in your Sim City, or you can have. It wasn't that exciting actually. I didn't really like that feature, but.
All I know about is the new sewage feature, the shit feature. You can see how much shit is building up underneath your city, and then put in some plants to get flushed away.
I do have the new SimCity, and you can.
You can.
You don't want to build houses
You
in
can.
it.
Really?
You don't want to build houses.
No, exactly. You can see the shit. And flush it away.
It's just
Stain
like a brown
underground.
stain.
just a brown view underneath your city.
Wow, I
And
didn't
you
know.
can just flush it away. It's just another feature. It's like, here we go. Here's the old Sim City.
This is brand
But
new.
now you can see all the shit. The literal shit underneath your city.
That's pretty awesome.
Now that's an
That's pretty
update.
awesome.
That's an
That's an
update.
update.
I wonder who went in the boardroom and went of this. You know what we need? A shit method.
Yeah. No, I think it was someone voiced the problem themselves. They wrote in and they went, "This is not believable because there's all these people in this city producing no fecal matter. Explain that." And the creators were like, "Oh God, we've got to put something in."
Sounds about right.
Yeah. It was one fan complaining really, really loud.
Yeah.
Yeah, with a formal letter. A formal letter sent in. There is not enough shit in Sydney.
Nothing is more scary than that.
No.
So,
I mean, if they've typed it on their computer and then printed it out and then sent it manually, that's a big deal.
They mean
when they
business.
could have emailed it and skipped about 8 steps.
so you guys were talking about the beta stuff earlier. When do you guys plan to, like, release?
The thing is, we're really early in development yet, so there's no concrete dates or even, unfortunately, an estimate yet.
There's no even wet cement.
Yeah.
But it's just like you don't want to break any promises, especially
agree, yeah.
because you don't want to upset
Oh, I agree.
the community.
Yeah.
That's the one out of everyone that I could possibly upset. The indie game community is probably the most terrifying community to upset.
Definitely. Definitely.
Just the internet.
These
in
guys are in
general
business.
is
Yeah, I'm talking Frank.
Just the internet. They've done ruthless.
Yeah. They just become warriors.
Pretty much.
from behind
Like,
the
just
keyboard.
they will sacrifice you through comments
From
and
behind the
tweets.
keyboard.
Yeah.
Ah.
And they will type so fast they will get blisters just to make sure you hear what they have to say. But no, like that is terrifying alone. But we don't want to make broken promises. Like Mark says, we're in early development, and we know what we want, but it's about getting there. And you know, every day you find a new problem.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, we're
Yeah.
still indie. So, I mean, if we had a big budget and a huge team, we could have maybe made some promises. But right now, it's pretty early.
It's hard to judge until you've made a game like that before.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
Even big studios
So-
don't give out dates that quickly.
No,
yeah, I
no.
agree.
It's a possibility, both of them. I think Steam is a really great platform.
Other platforms are available.
Definitely. But I mean, we'll see how it goes. Really.
It's,
well,
Again, no broken promises.
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, to be honest,
Yeah.
that's a wonderful question because it's we'd love that.
Yeah.
We'd love to be greenlit on Steam. We'd love to have a successful Kickstarter. But that's in the hands of the audience.
Yeah.
In the hands of
Like
the
that's
internet.
it. That's you know,
Yeah.
they're the Simon Cowell.
Pretty much.
They give us the thumbs up or the thumbs down. So
Yeah.
please, please funding.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. The internet can be very fickle with
Yeah.
things. Like, even the best ideas.
It's that.
can-
That's it though, isn't it? It's the idea is you can't compete with something that's unreleased because something that's unreleased is just an idea and it's flawless.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. People
Like-
are always going to imagine it greater than it is.
Yeah, that's the problem. If you get your expectations up, it could let you down because we don't want to let anyone down. That's the problem.
Definitely.
But it's not in our hands what they imagine the game to be. So we've just got to try and keep everyone as level-headed as we can
Yeah.
with what we say. So we can't be like, yeah, you can do this and you can control UFOs and there's going to be a nuke function and
Yeah.
just, you know, we try and keep it like our updates is down to earth and is just sometimes maybe they won't be the most exciting updates, but it's like, this is what you're going to get.
This is what we've done today, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And we constantly post like art and models we do. So we love the idea that nowadays you could have your development process out into the world. You can just show everybody and get input instantaneously.
And then they get a better idea of what's to come, what to expect. And then
Yeah.
there's not too much like patient, I guess.
Yeah,
Like we don't.
it sucks on Kickstarter when
It sucks
you
on Kickstarter
like contribute to a game and then it comes out and it's nothing like they originally said. So I understand your guys' like apprehension with that.
Yeah, I mean, our Kickstarter video will probably be like we'll meticulously plan it so that every element is perfect and there's nothing that could possibly portray a different message.
Sounds like it.
Like we're even I'm gonna probably watch it backwards to make sure like the sound doesn't play backwards and create like some sort of subliminal message and
Satan's talking.
yeah,
to you.
yeah, gonna make sure
Or put a secret message in just because.
backwards saying this is what you're gonna get.
No surprises.
Yeah.
So like, how long do you guys plan the game to like last? I mean, I know you guys are still early, but how long do you think the campaign will go?
Oh, that's another thing. I mean, we're looking at different story types, and in general, strategy games, you have an option like in, I guess, in Civilization 5,
Yeah.
where it's not necessarily about like an ascribed scenario, but instead you kind of make your own story.
Okay.
And we kind of want the player to have an open toolbox, which they can shape the world and shape how they're going to do their journey.
And the defining factors will be scale of the map, difficulty level, which will, include some, like an easier difficulty level might include not so many mechanics to make the player's job easier, and then more difficult ones will increase the mechanics, which might make the playtime longer. So it's difficult to say because there will probably be variables within game.
True.
Upon setup, like in any good strategy game, you can decide kind of before you even start the game, you set it up how you want to play it.
Yeah.
And then you play that game and then see how long it takes you. But it could depend on the player. I mean, I don't doubt there might be someone who will sit down and just destroy it.
Yeah.
They will just sit down for some reason, God knows why, but they will be naturally born to play this game.
Definitely.
And they will absolutely destroy it in like half the time we even expected.
Yeah, and someone would be like a completionist and they would just take a lot of time, pause every 5 minutes, and that's fine too. I mean, everybody has their own way of enjoying a game.
But that's the thing, is we want it to be as accessible as possible. So it'll probably depend on how the player wants to play it. But it's difficult to judge right now.
Definitely.
But I mean, if we don't want to release a game where it's like,
Yeah, well, I understand that.
like maybe 9 hours and then that's it, you're done.
Yeah.
Delete
like that.
Exactly. If we can replicate if we can make it as good, as randomized, as variable, as replayable as the great strategy games, we'd be really satisfied.
Yeah.
That's definitely one of them.
Yeah.
So, what kind of platforms are you guys looking at? Is it only PC, or are you going to try to release it on mobile devices or anything? I don't know.
Right now, because we're developing in Unity, it's very straightforward to put it out on Mac, PC, and Linux. So probably definitely going to release on those, but I'm not sure about mobile devices.
Yeah.
That's way too far in the future right now to really judge. I doubt there's going to be a lot of like a full game on a mobile phone, because we want it to look really, really nice.
Yeah.
And
it's going to be quite complex too. So
I think maybe I don't know, no offense to the mobile market, but whenever I've played a game, I'll give a classic example: Spider-Man games. They're on about just about everything. And I was once bored. I was on a bus and I bought Spider-Man on my mobile.
Yeah.
And it was disappointing because I'd already played it on Xbox or PS3 or something.
Yeah, it feels a bit more limited.
Yeah.
And I mean, it is part of the way the hardware is right now. It's just at a point that we're not sure how many of the functions would translate well.
Yeah,
I mean, there's
I
a
agree.
tablet.
It's like when they do Halo Spartan Assault. It doesn't cross over good.
Yeah.
No,
It's kind of makes a completely different game in a way.
Yeah,
I think
agree.
the game we're going to make is
Yeah.
currently, as the mobile market stands, not suitable for the mobile market.
Yeah.
Because there's certain games that work on the mobile, certain games that don't. You see, like COD releases on the mobile, it's not the same. It's not.
No, it's different.
You expect, oh, I'm going to be able to play like COD on my mobile, and then you go, this is nothing like it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the day, you need to drag
Yeah.
the screen.
Yeah,
It's different.
and touchscreen controls and anything.
Yeah, touchscreen
on a little
controls.
mobile where one thumb is like half the screen, and it's like the analog
Yeah.
stick, and then you're trying to tap these invisible buttons, and
Yeah.
you can't see the enemies because
Yeah.
you're too busy tapping where the enemies are coming from. And
Even
Yeah.
games
But
like
it's just-
Kingdom for
there's-
Snowflings is difficult
Game
on a
like
tablet.
Kingdom of Snowflakes is difficult on a tablet.
yeah.
You have to
It's
poke
just-
little people.
That's
and
the
it's just a
thing as
nightmare.
well. Even tablets probably the next step.
You have to poke little people while you're
And that's the thing is that I don't know if there's people out there with like stylus fingers, but I can never see what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'm just blindly prodding at something and hoping it's going to work. And can you imagine selecting a menu?
Oh man.
Yeah.
Selecting a menu on like a
Yeah.
mobile or a tablet, especially if it's like a little pop-up menu. But yeah, all jokes aside, it probably just wouldn't be suitable.
Yeah.
And then with consoles, there's licensing and there's
Yeah.
compatibility issues and how the game would play.
And sometimes different coding libraries and optimization, and that's a lot of extra work that we'll see if we can budget for, that we see if there's even a need for, because sometimes people will not be that interested. They just want to have it on their PC.
And then again, it's accessibility is well, no, I'm not going to say everyone, but most people do have a PC or a laptop now, and
Yeah.
that's more accessible is with things like these game releasing platforms on the
Steam.
PC, is that they're accessible. You can just go there, they're usually free, and you can get the game there and then. It's straight onto your PC. You know, you don't need a console, you don't need a disc, you don't need certain types of controllers. It's all set up there and ready.
We love how simple it can be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well,
it's
that's
about
that's the best
yeah.
thing
Well,
about the Unity
that's the best thing
engine
about the Unity engine.
is it's usable for
It's-
everybody basically.
Usable for everyone, basically.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's,
You don't have to have a high-end
mean-
You don't have
computer.
to have a high-end computer.
no. The Unity engine is fantastic.
Yeah, we're happy
For what it
to
is.
be working
Yeah.
with that.
Yeah. I mean, we looked at a few, but I mean, Unity just
Just
worked best
yeah.
for what
Yeah.
we wanted. And you can't fault it as a program. It's a pretty damn good program for what it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
a lot of options you have.
Yeah. So, I guess, like, the biggest question for everybody is...
Plan the price point to be like, do you want it under a certain amount or over a certain amount?
For 24 easy payments of $19.99 plus postage and packaging, you can no, I'm gonna get in some trouble for that if I carry on. Someone's gonna hear
I'll
that and
edit
not
it
hear the
out.
rest of the interview. Me going, I'm
They
joking.
closed the interview
Yeah, they
and
just
rushed
closed
off
the
to the
interview.
store. Rushed off to the store.
Take my money.
Yeah.
But it's like the release date. We don't want to make anyone angry by going, it'll be this, it will be X amount, and then maybe we should just sit here and go, it's going to be £1,000 on release, and then we go, just kidding, and then release it for
less,
significantly lower than
like, yeah. And everybody would be happy, right?
yeah, maybe that's the right approach. But again, but it's difficult to judge because at the end of the day, the money we make goes into making this game better, improving the game, possibly DLC,
Other features.
We
have a lot of ideas we can put in,
and it will depend on, because at the minute we're working off nothing, and that's the problem. Is it's a slow process.
Oh,
Time
yeah,
is
I
money
agree.
in that sense. Is that if you have money, use up. Things happen quicker.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can hire a budget team. and
Yeah,
stuff.
exactly. And things become more accessible when you get better, bigger programs, and everything becomes easier. But when you're I think that would be the defining factor is how well the Kickstarter goes, what we can do with that, And then we don't want to rip anyone off, because at the end of the day, we're part of the community.
Yeah.
If I was
true.
big hyped up for a game and then they just went, right, it's going to be £42, it would just destroy me,
Yeah.
Yeah.
because you've been watching the development of it, and then you don't want to pay £40 for it. So it's difficult to judge at this moment, but we want it to be fair on the player,
And for us too.
and for us, and for the player again, so that we can in future make the game better.
That's true.
So
Yeah.
as long
We're
as
not
it's-
planning just a kind of one-off release. We see that a lot with other games, and if we have the possibility to keep working on it, if we have the funds, then we'll just keep improving it.
I mean, it's in a genre where it's got that. I mean, a lot of games now, there's that potential to add DLC, and I think that's what people love. If they love a game, they want to keep playing it.
Yeah.
And if you can add something in, or, well, a good DLC is quite a few things in,
Yeah.
and it changes the game, but it's the game they love, but it's new stuff,
Oh, I know.
then
The
that,
Civ is perfect.
It's
for
so
that.
much better to play.
The Brave New World is
Yeah.
amazing. The expansion.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah.
agree.
yeah,
Brave
Yeah.
New World is great.
yeah. I remember...
So many hours.
Oh, I know.
I remember unbelievably watching... It's like the most embarrassing thing. I was watching it, just some sleep playthroughs,
Yeah.
and it was all about religion and stuff, and I was like, wait a minute, how do I do this? Go through like a million menus, and then I go, oh, DLC.
DLC. Yep.
It was
Oh,
expensive,
dear, that
but well
was-
worth it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah. I've actually got to be quite jammy. I've got to admit, I got off the wonderful Humble Bundle.
Yeah.
Oh,
Props to
yeah.
Humble Bundle. They do great deals.
Yeah, and it's all for charity as well. I mean,
Yeah, it's amazing.
props to Maya for taking part in
Yeah,
that. I mean,
definitely.
that's great.
That's
Humble Bundle's great, but
Yeah, the
I
Humble Bundle
can't.
and Steam is what empties my wallet.
oh yeah, yeah. Especially because at the time it's cheap, but altogether
Yeah,
it's like a powerhouse of money
Yeah.
coming out of your account.
that is true.
It's like, oh my god, it's only £4.50. I gotta get it. Whereas
Yeah.
it's only $5
Yeah,
if you're in
yeah,
America
yeah,
or something. And then you're like, I just bought like 100 games.
Especially when sales season comes around.
Oh,
Oh,
god.
yeah.
And you just refresh the Steam page, like,
I have to go through page by page and weigh up the pros and cons. Because if I bought everything, like, have you ever done that thing? Do you ever remember? Did your mum ever say this when you were a kid? You'd go shopping and then you want to buy something, and she'd be like, "Probably find it better or cheaper somewhere else." And you're like, "No, I want it now."
yeah.
So you buy it, and then you go to another shop, and it's like the next shop on, it was £10 cheaper
Yeah.
and better, and you were just distraught. So I have to very carefully pick which games I buy. Otherwise, my overdraft's beaten enough
Yeah.
Fair enough.
without Steam's help.
We are indie.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know the feeling. Every time I have to buy a new game, I'm like, I have to review this for the website, and I don't want to spend $60 on it.
Exactly. And it's so easy to as well, because if you're not handing over cash,
Oh, yeah.
it feels like you're not spending money.
Oh, I know. I did that yesterday. I bought Stick of Truth, Walking Dead Season 2, and then some random indie game that I thought was cool looking.
I mean, those are perfectly fine games to just... I mean, I can't judge random indie game,
Yeah.
unless that's literally what it's called, in which case I haven't heard of it.
Yeah. Sounds
no,
interesting.
those
Random indie game.
Those are some fantastic choices, I've got to say. Like, I'd be happy to just look at my bank statement and weep, knowing I had those games.
Yeah, that's true. Sometimes it's just worth it, no matter.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
those
it
are definitely
warms
worth
you.
it.
You think, you know what? I don't need to live in a house. I don't need my mortgage.
I'll starve. It's
Yeah,
fine.
exactly. I can eat dry bread for a week because I've got this game.
It
for
brings you enough.
£4.50.
Yeah.
Oh, so, like, I guess, how many units do you guys plan on having? Is it just, different aliens can take over different amounts of people, or how does that work?
That's a good question.
It is a good question, but the thing is, every human in the game is individual. Yeah, it's his own. It has his own stats. It has his own kind of relationships with the household members, with his job, and his social clique. So every time you interact with someone, they're already a different human, and if you take over that human, he has access to different other humans. So in a way, it's kind of like it's a lot about having the social networking approach to taking control over the town. You need to kind of know who's going where, and then you will also have classes in terms of like the humans you take over. You can kind of like modify them a bit, and we're looking at options. But you
get engineer, scientist, grunt, the strong one.
Yeah, exactly.
The technology one, the powerful one.
Yeah, the one with the most influence.
Yeah. Okay. Like with humans in the actual world, everyone's different and has different pros and cons to
yeah, even like a really good-looking person might have that kind of edge, you know. Yeah. We're looking at that too.
Yeah, it's something worth looking into, but it's again, it's like any sort of game where you have classes.
Yeah.
Everything's got its advantages, disadvantages, and it's up to the player to decide how they wanna go about it.
Yeah, we'll just have to balance it a bit, but
yeah, obviously. But,
yeah.
So can they like fight you off, or I guess I don't know. Can bad things happen to you?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you playing as the aliens, and if you get caught, and if it's obvious there's an alien invasion, and if the humans catch up to you, you will lose.
Okay. So the
show's
over
first
if you get
unit.
Busted.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Like no one's gonna shrug that off.
Yeah.
Dave's been acting weird recently. Oh, he's been infected by aliens.
That's fine.
Never mind, he's buying the next round.
Well, as long as he's buying beer, who cares, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's not. I don't think that's going to be a mechanic. The pub DLC.
We're evil, but we're bringing alcohol.
That's pretty awesome.
Aliens bring your.
Yeah. Evil but have cookies. Is that how it goes? Can't remember that catchphrase.
Oh, I know what you're on about. Come to the dark side. We have cookies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's it.
Yeah, that's the one.
I was just gonna say it's a suspicion and influence, and it's not necessarily explosions. It's a bit more tactical and stealth.
Yeah. You have to like kind of think your way through and plan. It's kind of like a more slow-paced real-time strategy game.
Yeah, it's kind of like
and
a
then
mix of
there's
stealth and strategy.
Yeah, exactly. And also you've got the biggest part is like you have like we were discussing different units. Your first unit is the queen alien, kind of like a queen bee. The more units you get, the more protected she is, because if the queen gets caught, killed, that's it.
Yeah,
that's over.
You are, as a player, you are the queen, and she is the hive mind of the aliens.
Oh, okay.
And the more units you get, the more protected she is, because the more far from you they are. But it's stealth, suspicion, influence.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. You kind of need to.
Beer.
It's more subtle, and the queen starts off as your only active unit, so you're going to use her a lot, and she's a bit more powerful. But then you kind of put in the fact that humans are getting slightly more suspicious, so you want to keep her away.
Yeah. So are you guys going to try to use like church, I guess like a pastor or something to spread it even further? Or?
I mean, we're not sure we're that confident about messing around with religion.
Religion and aliens. Ooh, that's a tightrope. That's a thin line.
Oh, yeah. But there will be like social structures in the game you can exploit.
Yeah.
That's another big thing. Like you would have a social kind of structure you can kind of invade. Like the
Yeah.
police is really
Yeah, and
a
I
great
guess,
example.
there could be someone that, we can't negate religion from the game. There will be someone like a pastor, and that's a different way of spreading influence and
yeah.
infecting people, I guess.
Yeah.
But there's that thin line between you don't want to offend
True.
anyone religious.
I agree.
They will have like our own kind of weird religion, and
Yeah.
the New Age one,
Yeah, like
Pastafarianism. Or something.
yeah, Pastafarianism. I like that.
Is noodly
Beer dayism or something like that.
deism.
Yeah,
Yeah.
where it's all about beer.
It's all about beer. That's a religion I can go to.
That's a religion I can work with.
Meet at
Yeah.
every Saturday.
Drink beer, for it is tasty. Thou must drink beer. That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
Oh, that's it. I'm convinced.
Yeah, it would be one of those ways you could influence people.
Yeah.
There's a lot of possibilities we take this game, and that's what makes
We're
it
still
fun.
in early development
Yeah,
again.
yeah.
Like we're thinking this through, but we just don't want to promise anything that's like, all right, there's going to be this mechanic, and if we ended up testing it and it's not that great, it's like you promised it and now you promise to take it back,
Yeah.
and someone's just going to be so disappointed.
Exactly.
The things we did say are definitely going to be there, but we don't want to overpromise. That's the thing.
Exactly. Like, there's the potential to these things, but it means that we want the game to be right, but we don't want to release it in 10 years and then it's completely outdated.
Yeah.
There's no place for it. And people are going, what are you talking about? I thought you'd stop making this game. It's like, no, did you not see our Twitter?
Yeah.
Week by week. It's about releasing a game. It's about making it accessible. It's about being realistic as well, because there's no point putting in mechanics and features that aren't going to benefit the player.
That's true.
Aren't going to benefit the player.
Like a finding loose change in your pocket mechanic.
Like making a cup of tea.
Making a cup of tea mechanic,
Offering someone a cup of tea when they come in.
Yeah.
That's it. They're an alien.
Oh man.
But and when you start making like promises, or like if you like stress or panic and start making up promises, you just end up making more and more and panicking to cover up your tracks and try and tie up loose ends. But then there's one new loose end trailing up, and before you know it, you've got a mechanic where you can infect a lumberjack that's clearing up breaking some leaves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'll let you guys go.
That's another thing about our game is we get a lot of
Well, I
questions.
saw you guys go. Sorry.
I mean, that's another thing about our game is a lot of people come up to us and they have different ideas for mechanics, because it is kind of it's a new idea, so people kind of want to see something there too, and there we just again it's like Anthony said, at the end of the day we can only promise so much.
Yeah. But then the thing about it is, if it's our Kickstarter successful, if we have the backing and the feedback, this with that potential, someone else might think of something we haven't thought of. It might not necessarily be them going, oh, why have you got this feature? Your game sucks. It might be, oh, you thought of this feature, and you think, that's a great idea.
Yeah, and
Can
we
we
actually
fit that
take
in?
it on.
Yeah.
That's the best part of like having our development transparent.
Yeah, and just the indie community. It's
Yeah.
all about feedback.
If they're not,
All
screaming
about
at you,
feedback.
they're very
Because
helpful.
people are wanting this game to be released. They want
They're
to.
not screaming at you, but they're very.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a pat on the back. Like, this is looking great. Is there a chance of possibly this? I'm curious. Yes, no, maybe.
Yeah.
But then you sit back afterwards and you think, okay, I've answered that right now. But you know what? Maybe that is a possibility.
Yeah.
You take note of it, and then you see what else goes on. We're not saying that. We're gonna go, okay, everybody throw in one idea each, and then we're gonna put them all in game, because some guys are gonna be like, I don't know, a cow on a rocket propelled dig with a machine gun is the boss or something.
I don't know is also an okay answer.
I don't know. No comment.
I mean, it is early development.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go Earthworm Jim on it. Launching cows.
Yeah. Go-
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Good game. Good game.
that was a good game. That was a good game.
I know. I thought they were supposed to bring that back,
But, you know,
apparently not.
It's just there's
I'm
gonna
not
be.
sure if to bring that back.
No?
Well, it's like that thing. It's like the new RoboCop movie.
Oh, right.
Oh, it was
Different.
Yeah, it was different, and everyone was expecting the first RoboCop movie
Yeah, but
in
better.
in high definition.
Exactly.
So I was expecting ball shooting action.
Yeah.
That's what the first RoboCop
Clever
was.
catchphrases.
Yeah, just he was this witty robot cop that went around shooting people in the dick.
Just a quotable film.
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, I don't know how often you quote RoboCop day to day. I personally try not to. It's not appropriate in the workplace, but
What, you're not shooting
Yeah,
people in the dick with a
it
Nerf gun?
was a damn good film, and
But you're
that's
not shooting people in the dick with a gun.
yeah, that would get me fired quickly. But yeah, I guess that's why they didn't bring it back. It's the pressure of people going, "Where's bring it back, do a new one." Because then you do a new one and they're going, "Oh, this isn't anything like the first one. I really like the first one. Why isn't the first one?" Well, just play the damn first one then.
Yeah, that's true.
Don't ask for a new one. Just play the one you liked. But that's the good thing about games nowadays is with DLC, you can keep pushing that game that they like.
Having more iterations on the kind of the same base.
And then eventually there's going to be one point where you're going to have to go, there's no more we can do.
Yeah,
But then, who knows, maybe the modding community will come in and
that's true.
do something we can't do. But that's the fantastic thing about games these days. Just like, some of this...
So single community, it's like a living, breathing organism that just keeps...
Exactly, and different
Keeps going.
cells do different people do different functions, like cells in the body, and like Skyrim's an old game, and some of the mods people are releasing now are just you just don't know which one to get.
Yeah,
There's a Thomas
With
the
the-
Tank Engine mod
Yeah, I
that
know.
replaces all
Yeah, I
the
know.
That's
dragons.
amazing.
that was
It's
so
amazing.
good.
Oh, it is so, and it.
Have you seen the Randy
you know,
Savage
he's-
one?
Have you seen the Randy Savage one?
No, I
Oh
haven't
man,
actually.
it's like snap
Oh,
into
man,
a Slim
it's like-
Jim, and then it breathes fire on you.
And then breathes fire.
Oh, and the troll mod as well. Oh god.
Yeah,
Like there are some mods
Yeah.
where people do better textures. There was a big one on Morrowind where they did better textures, but the ones on Skyrim recently have just been hilarious.
Yeah,
But that's the great thing about games these days. There's those people out there that there's going to be someone in the world that can do something that you might not have been able to do, and hell, they do it.
yeah.
But yeah, but that's as I think that's as much as we can really say about the game, to be honest,
that's true.
because we don't. Otherwise,
Yeah.
you're going to step on someone's toes.
That's true.
I hope you guys succeed because I think it looks cool.
Thank you.
Cheers,
So
cheers.
we appreciate that, and so do we, because the feedback we're getting
It's good.
is
yeah.
motivating, and we want to make this game as much as other people want to see us make.
We
this
want to
game.
play it. Like,
Yeah.
we want to play it.
Yeah, exactly. So we can do all we can.
Definitely. Thanks for the interview.
Yeah.
No
Thanks for having
problem.
us. It's been a joy.